de colegiala. Ritmo. Por eso yo te digo que la historia comenzó. La linda colegiala, su esqueleto se movió.
In action.
What are we doing tonight, Jed?
Mr. Something
Oh.
Thomas. Oh.
We're in Cobra Bay, Greg.
Are we?
Yes.
Hello.
And Granny's here too, all the way from Penrith.
No, she was in Wollongong.
Oh, was she? Okay, go on.
Yes, there she was in Wollongong. And Tim was born. There was I at I was asleep
Uh-huh.
with Auntie Nell and the boys,
Yes.
my 4 cousins, Chris, Graham, Brian, and David, and that's all.
Oh, 2.
Auntie Nell's 4 boys. Because I had a dreadful...
A migraine?
That's the very one, Jed. The very one. I was having a migraine, so I went to sleep. And then finally Auntie Nell said, Greg, Tim's been born. You better go to the hospital. So to the hospital I went. And there was our gorgeous shush, please, I'm telling this story. Then off I went to the hospital to visit
2 lovers.
Kay and little baby Tim.
Really?
And wasn't that such a lovely surprise? A little boy looking just like me,
Oh my goodness.
not looking like Kay at all. So there we go. Tim was born.
You've got a standard state.
Oh yes. And what a joyous occasion that was.
Oh, is she? Bless her heart.
Him.
Oh, good.
Him.
Oh, yes, I knew you'd say good.
Timmy. Tim. Remember Tim?
I do.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I feel a little that way.
Yes.
Just slightly.
Tim came.
Oops, a daisy, you think. Here we go.
Yes.
And, it's like a... I really couldn't use the language.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, goodness sakes.
Yes.
My goodness.
So there we were,
Well, it's a better.
and away we went, and we went back to Wollongong, where Kay had prepared the most beautiful little bedroom
Good.
for Tim,
I knew
and
you wouldn't like my bit of stuff, but however, I couldn't.
that's a load of nonsense. We needed every little bit of stuff we could get.
Yeah.
Well, look, that's it. It was literitis.
Yes, so we stayed there with Edna.
I'll be as good as I can be. And I'm like, oh,
You'd absolutely do.
it's terrible.
I know the way you go on.
Yes, yeah, well, yes. Never mind you laughing, Henry, man.
So we stayed at Edna's for a few days, but that was too squashed.
Oh, well, that'd be fun for them for a while, wouldn't it?
Oh yes, it was fun for a little while.
Oh,
So I went house
Hunting.
hunting.
Oh,
Yes, so I got somewhere to live. It didn't
Oh,
take
that's all
me
you
very
wanted.
long over there in Gwynville.
well, that's all you want, though, isn't it?
Isn't it though?
Oh, my word.
Do you know what I've got to find?
What?
Absolutely.
My buzzer. Jed's so helpful, you know.
Just terrific.
I said, I had to go and get a house for
Really?
Kay and little baby Tim and me. And we found this crazy little creature of a house.
Goodness me.
in Gwynville.
Yes, that's right.
It was
Well,
quite cute.
Was it?
Yeah, oh yes, we stayed there for a few weeks until we had a downpour and nearly got lost in the flood.
Really?
Oh yes, so we had to go and find another house.
Oh, good grief.
In the meantime, we fed the horses next door
Oh my goodness.
we fed them bread. We fed them bread from the bakery.
I would you
Oh
think
yes, and then the bakers told us you can't feed them that anymore.
wonderful.
Oh, wonderful as wonderful as can be. I know.
No good, oh.
No, they told us get out. So we had to get out of there.
Well, he was trying, wasn't he?
It was trying, so I said let's go up to Newcastle.
Oh,
So
really?
whoops, to Newcastle we went.
Oh, good, oh.
I thought it was good, oh.
Yes, I like a man like that.
Oh, really?
Stand up and give the steps and steps out.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, I think that's lovely.
I wish my nursing friends had come. They're lovely. They're just
The
lovely.
camera, the story.
Oh, the story.
Oh, good.
It was next to us. Well, not quite next to us. When I say next to us, I mean it was in the same suburb as Mum and Dad. Now, Mum and Dad lived in a suburb called Merriweather, which I've mentioned previously in my discussions with you. They didn't know a thing about it, so it was the loveliest of little cottages, pardon me. These things happen to old men who've got cancer. And so I went up and took Kay up and we moved in and we had a little bit of time there cleaning it out of cockroaches.
Cockroaches, 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 and more cockroaches. And if you wouldn't believe it, some more cockroaches.
Kay said, we can't live here any longer. We hadn't even moved in.
Oh, well.
I tell you, it was something else with all these more cockroaches.
Good deal.
Anyway, we stayed there for a few weeks and Kay said, no more, no longer. I'm not staying here any longer. But anyway, we stayed there a little longer.
Oh, good.
Well, it wasn't really, Edna, because it put our marriage under pressure.
Oh,
You know what it is like to have a marriage under pressure when you've just had a new little baby.
oh. You were a bit tickled about the little baby.
I was very tickled about the little baby.
Oh, lovely.
He was gorgeous. I loved him. I just loved him.
Oh, that's beautiful.
He was beautiful, it was.
And the story?
What story?
I think you're forgetting somebody.
Kay?
No.
Jed?
Oh, were you going to bring him in at some
No,
stage?
Jed wasn't even born.
My goodness, you were in a hurry.
So we went down there to Gong. We went up to Newcastle again.
To where?
Newcastle.
Oh, yes, Newcastle.
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 Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Because we got another house up there.
It's a lovely place.
I wouldn't say that. It was very thankfully received from
Do they?
Auntie Flo and Uncle Dick,
Oh,
which was a real thrill because we were able to buy
Oh,
a house. Well, we're able to buy a kit home. Yeah, and we stuck it on this block. Thanks also to Henry and Vonda for some more loan to actually pay the money to buy it, to buy the actual kit. For Auntie Flo and Uncle Dick for the use of their cottage, their holiday cottage.
there'd be a lot of relaxation there for people.
There was a lot of relaxation.
Oh, wonderful.
And so, various folks came up to help us build the house. Jed's not in the story yet. And we started on building it. That was a lot of fun. Friends came from everywhere.
Yes, yes.
Everywhere.
It's interesting. Very.
the Newcastle people turned up, my youth group turned up like crazy. I mean to say, you couldn't believe how much they turned up, and Kay and I are still grateful to this day how our friends turned up from Newcastle.
From our youth group.
Thank you, David and Lyndon. You're wonderful people, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And eventually the house was built,
Oh,
and we moved into another house in Wollongong.
Wow.
Well, we finished off
Newcastle.
the Newcastle one. It was actually at Nelson's Bay, near Nelson's Bay, while I taught at
Wollongong.
Newcastle. No, you're right, Jed.
I am right.
You helped out at Newcastle. Where did you say?
Wollongong.
Yes, Wollongong. Yeah. There we go. You helped out at Wollongong. I got relief teaching, a marvellous PE teacher that I am, and it was jumping.
no.
Yes,
Oh,
I'll never do that again.
oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Anyway, a boy jumped over and broke his arm. So we had to take him to hospital.
Oh,
That created a problem for the boss because he had to find somebody else to teach the class because I had to go and take the boy to hospital. Anyway, as I was leaving, he said, "Watch your back." I said, "What do you mean, watch your back?" Well, this boy happened to be from Eastern Europe. And I said, "Oh, I see." He said, "Yes, be very careful."
oh,
So I was very careful, and I did get my back broken, or my arm broken.
oh well,
I lived happily till ever after.
yes.
So there we are. That takes us up to going to Wollongong again. Oh, we are at Wollongong.
Oh, don't tell me.
Yes, we still are at Wollongong.
I can't be careful enough.
No.
Oh my word.
So anyway, at Wollongong,
Really?
we got a decent home down there this time. We stayed there for a while, and we loved that.
Good.
We had time with living in friends' homes at that time, and that was very good. Meanwhile, Jed came along.
Don't say it like that. It was more exciting.
Was it?
Yes.
How was it
I
exciting?
wasn't born in Wollongong. I was born in St George in Sydney.
Oh,
So you've skipped a bit.
have I?
It's only human to want to get to the best part of the story.
The best part of the story was
Yes,
in
that's-
Sydney.
Terrific.
Oh, that's right. I got called to the pastorate in Sydney to pastor
Cogger Bay.
Cogra Bay Congregational Church. And there it was that Jed was born.
Ta-da!
Oh my goodness.
My goodness. Exactly, Edna. I didn't know what to say, so I said, "Ta-da, Sesney." Oh.
Jed.
Oh, Jed.
Oh,
Jed.
oh my goodness.
Dear me. Dear me.
It's a lot of good work.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was born at St George Hospital. I commend St George Hospital to all the people there. Get away.
You weren't born there. I was born there.
You were there. And there
We're just going to wrap it up for now.
Waving that.
Bye.
Wonderful. You're doing well. Tremendous. Okay, my dear. Okay. Hooroo. Yeah, I will. Poor old time.